Alright, hello everybody and welcome to this NRL stream of PlayStation Tier 2. It is of course the first round for these guys here, and already we've got a disqualification for Carlos there in that Aston Martin. He was interestingly on the intermediate tyres, so maybe trying to test his setup to see if it was in the working range, but it clearly has not worked here as he's got himself disqualified. But quite a few drivers on laps here. I think Sam Burke will be the first to cross the line. Competitive lap time, so let's see what he can do. He does 21.2, so quite a bit off the pace. Well, the expected pole pace for tonight, 21.2. There's an Aston Martin taking interesting avoiding action. That is Tiger Assassin. Unorthodox route to get out of the way, and Gareth sets a 19.8. So not the quickest lap time, but is the start of the session. Let's see who else is on the lap. Javille's Y69 Brit is crossing the line. He goes almost a second quicker than his teammate, so starting to get some competitive lap times on the board. As Emacs has run very wide there into the penultimate corner, and he is pulling into the pit lane. The next one to cross the line will be AJR UK, of course, PlayStation Tier 2 champion in Season 1, for those of you that were there with us or remember. It was an epic battle between him and Harry, one of his mates. He's unfortunately left the league, but AJR UK did not have the best season last season, scoring 0 points, so he'll be hoping he can do better than that this time around as Charlie moves up into P3 ahead of Sam Burke, and is quickly replaced by Javille, who goes into P2 with a 19.2. So currently Y69 Brits sitting on top with a 18.8. So doesn't look like anybody at the moment is challenging that lap time, as Gareth's into the pit lane. Javille and all these guys are in the pit lane. Prems has invalidated, so the only one on a flying lap right now is Veteran 1 in the Ferrari this season, moving up to PlayStation Tier 2 after being in Tier 3 for last season. I believe he was in Tier 2 in Season 1, but unfortunately got demoted. But now he's back up into PlayStation Tier 2, and he's on a lap here in the Ferrari. I'm not sure how his sector times were through the first two splits, but this Sector 3 has looked quite tidy. Not aggressive, but nice and tidy, and he's coming around the final corner now. Corner where it's very easy to lose traction, and as he comes to the line, it's going to be a 19.8, so he too cannot improve into the top 3. Charlie improves by 2 tenths on his lap, but it cannot break the 119 barrier. So Ferrari sit P4 and P5 after the first set of runs, and we'll have to see how they can do towards the end of the session now, as everyone in the pit lane, Yeetmex, AJ UK and Cha-Cha are all on outlaps at the moment, but Cha-Cha will be the first one of them to cross the line. So let's ride on board with the Alpine and see what he can do on this lap. And unfortunately he has invalidated before he even got to turn 3, so sadly he's going to have to go again. But AJ UK, let's ride on board with the Season 1 champion and see what he can do on his lap. As AJ UK unfortunately runs wide coming out of turn 4 and invalidates his lap as well. So a lot of drivers struggling here with the track limits at the moment, but I'm sure as the track gets more rubber down, it'll be easier to stay online. And oh, that is Yemex. Oh, that is a big crash, and somehow he is not DNF'd, but he's lost the whole of his front wing, and Alpine are going to have a big repair job there, as that was not a good situation. But let's see what the other Alpine can do. He's going to start a second flying lap on the sides as he invalidated the first one. But Nathan VD Burke is someone to watch out, to watch for this season. He was previously in Tier 1. Last season he was in Tier 1. I believe he took a couple of podiums over the course of the season, so it'll be interesting to see his pace. And already you can see it there with the 26.9 first sector, going purple through the first split. But let's see how the second sector goes. This changed Australian second sector, which has now just become a long winding straight, much nicer than the old chicane bit of sorts. And Nathan Van Der Voort has taken a lot of inside curb and has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. But Tiger Assassin, the owner on the lap hit, also invalidated. So a lot of invalidations here. Prem's, that's a very slow sector 1, so he must have had a mistake and had to back out. But Y69 Brit, currently provisional pole, is up by about 1.5 tenths on his first sector. So let's see what he can do, as Gareth is actually right behind him. So the Williams team going for a bit of a toe strategy here, maybe for Gareth. Y69 Brit has lost a bit of time for the second sector, but Gareth has gained about 4 tenths almost. So let's see what the Williams boys can do in the final sector, as they go into this changed corner here, which has become a lot wider and has a nasty curb on the inside, which is very easy to pick up floor damage on. Unfortunately not, I don't think it will be possible today, as we're not running simulation settings. But that was very wide on the final corner by Y69 Brit, but he still improves by about 2 tenths. And Gareth makes it a Williams 1-2, going about 3 tenths shy of his teammate. So the Williams boys on top at the moment, and Jable has invalidated, as a bit of traffic here, is a lot of people trickling out on outlaps, and there's a bit of traffic. But at the moment it looks like everyone's trying to stay out of each other's way. But Nathan Van Der Voort went for another lap. Unfortunately he's having issues at the same turn, turn 9, 10, I believe it is. He is struggling there, and can unfortunately not navigate that section. But let's see what Tiger can do. Welcome to the stream, VR Josh. Congratulations on your podium on Monday, and I do not think I will be commentating Tier 1 this season, as I'm busy on Monday nights. But I think maybe I might be able to do some Monday nights, but we'll wait and see. At the moment, Tiger Assassin moves his Aston Martin up into P4. So only one man in the 118s at the moment, and that is Y69 BRT, however you want to pronounce it. And at the moment it's a Williams front row lockout, not something you've seen for quite a long while, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see what Sam Burke and his Alfa Romeo teammate Nathan VD Burke, who is very quick, we know, can do. Sam running at Alfa Romeo right up to the extent of the track limits, but he's up by 6 tenths almost on his sector 1. Let's see what the sector 2 looks like as he comes to this section his teammate was finding difficult to navigate. He's barely gained any time through sector 2. He's gained about 600ths of a second, as there's now a bit of traffic of the Aston Martin going slow, and Sam nearly went straight into the back, but he hits his marks nicely into turn 11 now, and now he just has to keep it nice and clean into the penultimate corner, where it's so easy to lock up and go wide, but he keeps it within track limits. And this looks like a very nice lap from the Alfa Romeo. This is going to push him up into the top 5 if he can complete this lap. but he's low on ERS, and unfortunately that cost him. He improves by a second and 1/10 and has a very interesting moment at turn 1 there, but unfortunately he stays 7th and cannot improve into the top 5. But Vettel now is on the lap for Ferrari. He's marginally up on his first sector time, so let's stay on board with him, as I believe that was Yeetmex who just posted a lap there, moved into P9 ahead of his Alpine teammate Char, who's struggling. Nathan Manderberg is on another out lap here for Alfa Romeo. J-Ball's backed off of his lap. Let's see what Vettel's gone purple in sector 2, but he's still only up by 700ths of a second, so maybe the Ferrari will be the man to watch in the race, as it looks like it has some very good straight line speed there, as he took purple sector 2, but it looks like it's costing him in the corners. He's not able to run with as much commitment as we've seen other drivers do during this final sector. He's revving out the car here as he exits onto the main straight. Where will he put his Ferrari? He improves by 700ths and moves into the 19.7s. Unfortunately, it's not enough to move him up the orders. Yeetmex has had a moment at turn 6 there, so hopefully he doesn't have too many more of those moments. And Nathan Manderberg has invalidated again, and that is Charlie 0989. He breaks into the 18s, and he's set at 18.9, so a couple temps off Y69 Brit, but he is up onto the front row, so you have to wait and see what he can do. Gareth, unfortunately you jinxed yourself with that message there, as soon as you sent 1-2, Charlie took that second position, but hopefully you can move yourself back up onto that front row, as that is Alpine going very slow. That's Yeetmex. He's had another moment there. Are there any tier 3 drivers racing today? Yes. Easy Level Bot is a tier 3 driver, and Yeetmex as well. So Easy Level Bot and Yeetmex are the only 2 tier 3 drivers racing today. So if you have any particular interest in the tier 3 drivers, keep an eye out for those 2 to see how they perform. At the moment, not doing too well, but there's a long race ahead of us, as Y69 BRT has invalidated on this lap, so I don't know if he's got enough fuel to go for another one, but he could have to call that the end of his qualifying session. There's a lot of people in the pit lane now, but Tiger Assassin is on a lap for Aston Martin. Let's see what he can do in this Aston Martin car, which is underperforming in real life, but can Tiger make it perform in the game, as he's about 2 temps up through sector 1, and he's also purple, so watch out for Tiger Assassin on this lap. He's out for blood. He was also in tier 1 last season. He was also in tier 1 this last season, like Nathan VD Burke, and he's 2 temps up, almost 2.5 temps up through the first 2 sectors, and purple through both. So let's see how he does in the final sector. It seems this is where most of the drivers are losing their time to Y69 BRT, so we'll just have to wait and see, as he will be the first person to cross the line, and this will be his final lap of the session. So it's and that is Tiger. He spun round at the final corner. He was purple through the first 2 sectors, and he's binned it in classic Tiger style at the final corner. So unfortunately for him, he will not be improving in the session. Neither will Easy Level Bot, who is unfortunately spun around in the McLaren. That is be his final shot at pole position. Can Y69 BRT do anything? He's had to go for a second lap. The fuel is low, but what can he do? He improves by almost 2 temps, and it's a 1:18.4 for Y69 BRT. Can anyone lay a challenge on that? Nathan VD Burke has retired, unfortunately for him. Sam Burke is not improving on his lap. That is his qualifying session over. Javille's about to start his lap. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the line. Gareth is on the lap. He's about 3 tenths up and purple through sector 1. So let's see what the Williams driver can do. Can he possibly steal pole position off his teammate? Prem is invalidated, but he should have time for another lap. Javille obviously just starting the lap. Tiger won't have time for another lap. Vetting's invalidated. Edge UK has spun out of turn 1. That's his qualifying session over. Charlie has not made the line. He's over. Sam Burke has crashed. His qualifying session is also over. Yemex is marginally up through sector 1, but all eyes are on Gareth. What can the Williams driver do now as he enters sector 3? Can he still pole position off his teammate, or at least put that Williams on the front row? Their main competitor, Charlie 0989, has unfortunately mistimed his qualifying runs, and he's not made the line for his final run. Gareth is going to get the slipstream off Tiger, and he's going to put it on pole position for now. A 1:18.382. Y69 Brit is backed off his lap. He cannot do anything. Charlie did not make the line. Can Prems or Javille do anything? Javille's about 4 attempts up, but that will not be enough to challenge Gareth at the top. But still, there's a few corners left to go as the Red Bull rounds the final corner. That is a Alpine going very slow in front of him. Can Javille move up into the top 3? Yes, he can. 1:18.8 is not good enough for pole position, but it's a very respectable lap time. Easy Level Bot crosses the line, and he will start in P10 unless Char has anything to say about that, but he cannot move his Alpine up into the top 10. So now it's only Prems is invalidated. It's only AJ UK we wait on, and he's on a slow lap. So that is the end of qualifying, and it's Gareth who was stolen pole right at the end from his teammate. A 1:18.382. What a lap from the Williams driver. And it's a Williams 1-2 in the first race of the season. Is that a sign of things to come as we head towards 5 red lights for the season opener? Of course, those of you who probably play the game or have been following our Discord server, you know that we are not running the formation lap due to the game being completely useless, and EA and Codemasters don't know what they're doing. So we will not be using the formation lap, as even the broadcast mode glitched the lobby out on Monday in PlayStation Tier 1. So no formation lap. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers deal with it. It's unfortunate for Yemex. 3 seconds up, spun the final corner. A lot of drivers finding that final corner very hard. It's probably the trickiest corner on this track, as your tyres are overheating and they're screaming for cooler temperatures, but you just have to make it around the final corner and it's good. But anyway, looking at the qualifying results, it's the Welshman Gareth who sits on pole, a 1:18.3, and Williams lock out the front row with Y69 Brit in P2, almost a 10th back on his teammate. Javille starts P3 for Red Bull. Good performance from him. Charlie starts alongside him with Prems and Tiger Assassin on the 3rd row of the grid. Then it's Vetton in P7. AJK starts 8th. Sam Burke and Easy Level Bot round out the top 10. Char and Yemex, the two Alpines, lock out the 6th row of the grid, and it's Nathan Vanderberg and Carlos who start at the back on the final row of the grid. But as we head towards 5 red lights, let's see what happens here. It was a very interesting race in PlayStation Tier 1 for those of you who followed that, but PlayStation Tier 2 also has a lot of quick drivers, and this could be chaotic, I fear. As we're now just waiting for the drivers to ready up, and then we can go to 5 red lights. Gareth, 1 stop or 2? Well, I think the 1 stop is quicker, but I'm not sure. I haven't done any races around here, but I think the 2 stops also a viable option. But PlayStation Tier 1 had too many safety cars to even consider a 1 stop. So 2 two-stop, yeah, two-stop could probably work. But as we go to 5 red lights here for the start of this Grand Prix, a lot of drivers have gone for the mediums, but Y69 Brit has gone for the softs, interestingly. So that means he's going to get the better launch on his teammate down towards turn 1. Can he get the move? No, it's actually Jayville who's made the move on him. So now Y69 Brit is going backwards. Jayville's up into P2 now in this race, but Y69 Brit is not going to let it go that easy. He's going to attack down the straight. Meanwhile, behind the 2 Ferraris are getting very close to comfort, and that is Vetton going down the inside. Oh my god! What on earth happened there? That is Vetton into Sam Burke. Vetton's car almost like glitched out. I'm not really sure what happened there, but that is a massive incident, and that is Carlos who hits the wall there. So that could be front wing down to him. Nathan has no front wing either, and Chacha gets past him quite easily. Now easy level, but has a time penalty. Carlos has damage. Vetton doesn't have damage somehow from going straight into the side of Sam Burke. Not really sure what happened there, but anyways, back to the fight at the front. Jabel's going for the move now on Gareth on lap 1. The Red Bull has started quick. He's gotten his tyres warmed up. He's going down the inside. He's forced Gareth a bit wide. They could make it 3 wide, but Y69 and BRT thinks smartly. Gareth's going to try around the outside, keeps it on track, but Jayville makes the move, and now here comes Y69 Brit. He's gone off track and he's hit Prems. He's gone off track, spun and hit Prems. Hopefully Prems hasn't sustained any damage from that, but that's an awful start for the Williams boys. They've not only lost P1, but now one of their drivers has fallen down into P6, and it's the one on the softs as well. Nathan Van Berk has sped in the pit lane and picked up a 5-second time penalty, and here comes Charlie now looking for the move around the outside, and Tiger defends the inside. He locks up. Charlie's going to go for a textbook switchback, but unfortunately Tiger defends it well and keeps that P4 position. So a hectic first lap as that is Vettel trying to go around the outside, easy level, but unfortunately picks up a 3-second time penalty here as he's already sustained too many warnings, and Nathan Van Der Berg, unfortunately the big loser of lap 1. AJUK and Chacha are out. I'm not sure what's happened here, but it's a safety car. It's a massive crash. AJUK in the right wall, Chacha in the left wall. Not really sure what happened there. We did not catch it, but both drivers are out, and there's a safety car already. A massive crash here in lap 1. 2-stop is definitely so, but it depends on the safety car we get. Yeah, well, we've already got a safety car on lap 2, so I don't think if anyone boxes now, they will definitely be committing to the 2-stop. So let's keep an eye on the leaders, because I don't think the hards will go like 25. Like if the safety car comes in lap 4, like 25 laps is a very long way to go. But Weissstein Brit, BRT, the man who started on softs, took the gamble to try jump his teammate at the start. Did not pay off for him. He's unfortunately into the pit lane for a new wing as well. Probably sustained that damage when he hit Prems. Prems for podium. He's currently running in P3, so his chances are looking good, and I don't think Vetton had many warnings, because okay, that could be the reason why he's got a penalty, but we'll wait and see. He can report it afterwards. Wait, actually I can just look at it now. If I go into the race director, no, he got 6 warnings, so yeah, that is a penalty. I don't know how he's managed to pick up 6 in 1 lap, but hey ho, we move on. So it looks like everyone has decided to stay out on the mediums, which they started on, apart from Sam Burke, who's boxed for a set of hards, Y69 BRT, who's boxed for a set of mediums, and he started on the softs anyway. So the good thing for Y69 BRT is now he's essentially on the same strategy as everyone else, but assuming there's no safety cars, everyone else still has to box onto a set of the hards, whereas Y69 BRT can do the 2-stop with mediums. Carlos, however, has also gone on to the mediums, and Nathan Wiedeberg has he started on mediums, boxer softs, after he had no front wing in that one, is now back onto the mediums. But let's see how the rest of this race progresses. Unfortunate for Cha and AJUK, their season's not starting off in the greatest vein. Unfortunately for AJUK, he cannot pick up. Unfortunately for AJUK, he picks up exactly where he left last season, with no points. So that's unfortunate, but we'll see how the rest of the race goes. Jayville is the biggest winner here. He's had an amazing start here in the Red Bull, and Nathan Wiedeberg has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. So not the finest moment for the Alfa Romeo there, but there's still a long way to go, and I'm sure once he serves this drive-through, he can get straight back into the pack, as there will most likely, probably 90% be another safety car. But we'll have to wait and see, as Carlos is boxed onto the hard compound tires, so maybe he's going to try stretch those to the end. That is an awful long way to go on the hard compound tires, but if he can do it, if he can put it off, fair play to him, as Jayville will lead us away for the restart. Hopefully the safety car should be in this lap, as everyone has pulled everyone has everyone has caught the pack, yeah, okay, so there we go. Safety car is in this lap. It has been announced by race control. So now who will get the best restart? Jayville had the best start, but will he have a good restart? He will be controlling the pace here. Can Prems possibly do anything from P3? Tiger, we haven't talked about much, kept his nose clean on the first few opening laps and has been rewarded with the P4 position. AJK leaving the session not the way he would have wanted to start out this season. When will Jayville go? As in PlayStation Tier 1 we saw him wait almost halfway down the straight, but Jayville's going to go immediately out the final corner. Nice clean restart from PlayStation Tier 2, showing the PlayStation Tier 1 boys how to do a clean restart. But Prems now is all over the back, and that is Tiger, who's been overtaken by Charlie, but he's had to go off track, and Yemex is around. Prems is going to be down the inside of Gareth here if he has a chance. Forces Gareth into a late braking maneuver, and that is Vetton trying to go around the outside of Easy Level Bot, but Easy Level Bot defending that one well. So it looks like Yemex has spun, and he is only casualty from this restart so far. Thank you for the follow, Cha. I hope you enjoy the stream, and I apologize for the crash. I'm not sure what happened, but it did not look good, as two of you were in the wall either side. I'm sure the stewards will be reviewing that one. But anyways, at the front, no change, but Charlie has gotten past Tiger for P4 here, but the lead is keeping it clean. Nathan Wiedeberg, it becomes the next retiree. He's gone straight into the wall, and Turner Yemex is also around, but he's managed to keep it out of the wall, and it's another safety car. We didn't even get a full racing lap, and the safety car's back out. Jayville, I thought was going to pull into the pit lane for a second, but 2 safety cars in 5 laps is not boding well for the rest of the race. We saw 4 safety cars. It played. Oh my! It's nearly spinning it again. We saw 4 safety cars in PlayStation Tier 1. Hopefully, we don't have as many tonight, as it could lead us for a very, very boring race. But Tiger is in for the hard, so he's going to try to stretch those hard compound tires until the end of the race. But he's unfortunately low on fuel already, so he needs to do some. Actually, never mind. Everyone has this on. I thought Yemex has crashed in the pit lane. Not the greatest day for the Alpine driver here, as he's speeding into the pit lane, which was predictable. But anyways, as I was saying, everyone has this fuel sign, so I think everyone has enough fuel. I'd be surprised if someone was still under fuel, even though we've had 2 safety cars. As if you're new to F1, there's only 2 fuel modes now, I believe, and yeah, only lean and standard, and in the race you are locked onto standard fuel mix for the whole race. There used to be 3 lean, standard and rich that you could use in the race, and then a max fuel mix that you could use only in qualifying and in practice sessions, I believe. I'm not sure though, but now that's limited to only 2, and you're locked into standard for the whole race, so it makes it very hard to not gain fuel whilst under the safety car and moving slower, and you can often end up with many laps over the fuel than you need. Obviously look at Jabel here, he's like 3 laps, yeah, he's like 3 laps over on his fuel, I think, and then like Prens is around the same. This Ferrari is 3.5 over, so everyone seems to be over in fuel at the moment. Safety cars are on standard at the moment, and is bringing out a lot of safety cars, but Australia's a very, very hard track, so it explains the increased safety cars for this week's races, but hopefully we can get it down at future tracks. But at the moment it's Jabel who's led every lap of this race, even though there's only been 1 actual full racing lap, I believe, but he had the better tyres in the Williams on lap 1 and managed to get both of them on lap 1. Prems with some very aggressive weaving. Y69 BRT unfortunately went for the soft gamble, did not pay off, but now he is essentially on a better strategy than those in front of him, as he can do the 2-stop onto mediums, and the others in front of him all have to box the hards, and he will go onto mediums. So that could be a strategic advantage for the French driver later on in the race, but he has also, oh, that is Yemex again into the wall before we've even gotten going. Safety cars in this lap, but anyways, these 3 drivers, Carlos, Tiger and Sam, all have the hard compound tyres, so it could go very long and possibly till the end of this race. We'll have to wait and see. Is Jabel going to go at the same space, or is he going to delay it? Looks like he's going to delay it, as we're now going to the restart, and this is what happens when you delay the restart. Everyone climbs up alongside one another, and it's just a dodgy restart. Luckily it doesn't look like there's too much chaos, as Prem's going for a closing gap there into turn 1, but luckily he backs out of it. But now Vettel's down the inside, east level bar, and Prems is all over the back of Gareth. He's going to try go around the outside into turn 3. Can he do it? No. Gareth defends well. Vettel on the round the outside of easy level bar. The 2 are going side to side. Can they keep it wheel to wheel through turn 5? Yes, they can, and Vettel gets in front. Can Y69 BRT make a move on easy level bar in the second sector here, as they now fly down this new straight here in Australia, but meanwhile Prem's still all over the back of Gareth, and good news for Jabel, who's already pulled out a 1 second gap on Gareth, but Prem's struggling through turn 9 and 10 there and losing a lot of time to the Williams driver in front of him, as not too much change here in the safety car restart period, but Vettel has moved himself up into P5 ahead of easy level bar, and he is now directly behind his teammate as the 2 Ferraris look to try get up into the top 3. Jabel with the fastest lap of the race at 23.2. He's now 1.5 seconds ahead of Gareth, who's really under pressure here from Perez. So I'm not sure if it's something to do with tyre warm-up for the Williams. I mean, it seemingly clicked in qualifying, but here he's really struggling and finding it hard to cope with the pace of the Red Bull, but saying that he has closed the gap to 1.1 through sector 1, so looks like the pace is good. But let's focus on his teammate here. He's all over the back of easy level bar. He's had the pace over the last he had the pace in qualifying as well of his teammate. Unfortunately couldn't get the lap hooked when he needed it to, and he's looking to get back up into the high positions that he deserves with his pace. He's now all over the back of Eastlebot's had a bad exit out of turn 10. Will he go defensive? He tries to, but Weiss9 BRT is already there, already down the inside, but good defending from Eastlebot makes the corner a very acute angle for Weiss9 BRT, and obviously Weiss9 BRT has to back out, but maybe he couldn't get a move out of the final corner. Looks like Vettel isn't pulling away or isn't closing in on his teammate as much as he would have liked. So Javel now 1.6 with a new fastest lap. Looks like he has the pace through the through the second and the third sector, but Gareth has the pace in sector 1 as Gareth always closes on him. But Charlie has made a mistake somewhere, because now he's side by side with his teammate, and that is Vettel. Vettel has spun an East level bot, and Weiss9 BRT have had a chain reaction and have hit each other, and Weiss9 BRT has lost his front wing. Easy level bot still has his wing intact, and Vettel's front wing is fine. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but Charlie's mistake forced him to have contact with his teammate, and Matteo Binotto will not be loving that one on the pit wall. But at the moment he just hopes Charlie can close that gap back up, as Javel has made some sort of mistake and Yemex is out of the session. I believe he's retired in the pit lane, so thankfully no safety car there. But either Javel's made some sort of mistake, or Prems has made some sort of mistake, or Gareth has finally lit up his tyres, and it looks like that as he takes the fastest lap by not that much actually, but he's closed right in on Javel, and he's going to go for the move around the outside on Javel for P1. Javel defends the inside well and stops the cutback that Gareth was trying to do on him. But all this battling just invites Prems to get closer to these two. But can Gareth do anything here in the second sector? Of course, it's very long straight. Unfortunately, it does not have DRS. Gareth is sliding all over the place down the straight. But let's see what he can do as they head now down into turn 9, getting very close there between Gareth and Javel. Weiss9 BRT is coming slow out of the pit lane, but anyways, here goes his teammate around the outside on Javel. Javel's going to defend the inside. Weiss9 BRT pushes Javel pushes Gareth wide and defends the position, but he's left Gareth with very little racing room there. But Gareth will have the DRS down these two straights, and look how close Prems is in the Mercedes. He's looking to capitalise on these two battling, as Gareth had a big moment out of the final corner, but he's now going to have the DRS on Jabil. He's going to use the ERS. He has about 15% more than the Red Bull as they now head down towards turn 3. Can he make the move here on Jabil? Jabil looks a bit far, but with the DRS, anything's possible. Javel moves in the braking zone there, and Gareth unfortunately gives him a tap, and is Gareth going to try around the outside? No, was never going to work there. But now all this battling has allowed Prems to get within the DRS range of these two drivers. So let's see what the Mercedes driver can do, as Gareth has picked up another 3-second time penalty, so that is 6 seconds for Gareth. Javel has 3 and Prems has 0, so all this battle between these two is just inviting Prems the chance to win this race. Is they're now going to go side by side through turn 9. This won't end well. Surely one of them has to back out, and it's Javel who has to succumb to the forces of Gareth. But Javel's going to have the run now coming out of turn 10. Gareth goes defensive. He locks up both tyres but he defends well through turn 11, and there's no chance for Javel through turn 12. So Gareth takes the lead here on lap 12, and that pole position pace is starting to show now as he moves himself up into P1. Prems, however, has gotten within the DRS range of Javel, as Javel could have a chance here into turn 4, but Gareth has a bit more ERS, but Javel will have the overspeed here as they head down towards turn 4. Gareth kind of parks his car in the middle, which is not the ideal line. Both of them lock up though, so Gareth is able to stay in front for now and does not get overtaken. But at the moment, Tiger, he's the highest hard tyre runner at the moment. He is 5.5 off Charlie. He's not able to stay with the top group, and he's about he's only about 5 seconds off the leader, so not that bad in the grand scheme of things. But let's see what Vettel, no, that is Charlie has spun there in the Ferrari. He's spun around, doesn't look like he's got any wing damage, but that promotes Tiger now up into the top 3, and Javel's going for the undercut. Red Bull are pulling the undercut here as Javel runs it very close, and Prems is following him in for Mercedes. So both drivers going for the undercut, and Gareth here, they think their tyres cannot go any longer, and good pit stop for Javel, good pit stop for Prems, no wing damage for either drivers, so no time lost. But now this gives Tiger Assassin all the fresh air in the world to try and push away on these hard tyres before those behind him come knocking. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Y69 BRT, he picked up damage, so his 2-stop onto 2 sets of mediums that looked imminent could not occur. But at the moment it's Prems. He's lost a bit of time in the pit stop. He's now about 1.5 adrift of the Red Bull in front of him, and remember, these guys have taken it very slow out of the pit lane as the tyres are very cold, as there's no blankets anymore for the tyres. So, well, there's blankets, but I don't think they can have them at as high temperatures, so tyres are stone cold when you come out the pit lane. As so this could give Gareth the chance to go long, and that looks like he's that looks like what he's going to do. We've seen it multiple times in real life, the lead driver not reacting to the undercut and instead going longer and still coming out in front, because that pendulum will swing when Gareth boxes, as he will be the one on the cold tyres, and that could leave him susceptible to attack. But unfortunately for Javel and Prem, their problem is they're running into a bit of traffic here of Sam Burke on 12 lap old hards, East Level Bot on 14 lap medium, season up bots since the start, and Carlos on 13 lap hards as well. So could Gareth possibly, does he have a race engineer? Maybe they planned it out to go longer and avoid this traffic, which Javel and Prems are going to get stuck in now. But we'll see how quickly these guys can navigate these drivers, which are not really on their pace today. But Prems here is taking this as an opportunity to get very close to Javel, but he's expending all his ERS, and Javel still has quite a bit of ERS left. But Javel doesn't have the best run out of turn 9, because exit out of turn 10 is good enough, and this could get him moved on Sam Burke. Now he's going to try around the outside. He breaks so much later than Alfa Romeo and just takes a position. It's like taking candy from a kid, and then Prems just slides it down the inside. As Sam Burke is just I don't think even he knew what was going on. He just tried to brake on the inside, but Javel had so much more braking power and just went straight around the outside, and that left Sam a bit confused and allowed Prems to get an easy move around down the inside at turn well. So they've navigated one person who was in that train very easily, and whilst they were doing that, easy level bots for new hard. So Jayville is definitely not messing around here. He wants to win here in round 1 in Australia. Can he do it? Let's wait and see. Prems is all over the back of him though. He also wants victory. Of course, one time race winner, I believe. And Jayville is he's won one race. I'm not sure if he's won multiple though. But both of these guys know how it is to taste victory in NRL. Gareth doesn't, of course. His first race in NRL, and he's certainly putting off the moves, but he's into the pit lane now. So Gareth is into the pit lane as all Jayville can break so much later than these guys on the older tyres into turn 11. And that time he almost ran into the back of Carlos there because of how late he broke. But Carlos now is going to put into the pit lane, so it gets him nicely out of Jayville's way and gives him the DRS. But look how far ahead Gareth is, and this is what I said about the traffic and going long. He's managed to pull the overcut off on Jayville. The Jayville has now fallen like 3 seconds adrift of Gareth, and that's all because of A, the cold tyres on the outlap, and B, the traffic they encountered. But Gareth here is struggling here on these cold tyres. You saw him make a big mistake into turn 3 as there's someone round at turn 1 that is vetted, and Jayville's immediately closed the gap up already to 1 second. So he's already gone back within DRS. So that's also another thing I mentioned. When Gareth pits, the pendulum would have swung, and look, Gareth is weaving to try get some energy, some temperature into those tyres, but it's not enough. Jayville's tyres are nice and heated up, and could he possibly make the move on the struggling Gareth as Gareth tries to warm up his tyres? Look, Gareth's weaving into turn 11. The tyres are not where he wants them to be, and it's allowing Jayville to be all over him and be all aggressive. And that is Tiger. Tiger has spun round at the final corner. Luckily he's kept it out the wall, but that is going to lose him a lot of time, and his one-stop strategy will now be massively hampered as he doesn't have as much as a buffer to these guys. As Jayville sets the fastest lap of the race, his hard compound tyres are in perfect working range. Gareth's are not heated up yet, but it looks like he's managed to get a bit of heat, but still weaving down the straight to try heat up those tyres. And now this has put Jayville all over the back of him, and that is Y69 BRT round at the final corner. But meanwhile, easy level bodies go for a move from Carlos into turn 1 and gets the move done on the Aston Martin as they hit the brakes. But can Carlos look for a move back on him? Easy level bot gets 2 helpings of the DRS as there's only 1 detection zone, I believe, here for those first 2 DRS straights here in Albert Parks, and the gap now at the front is only 3.9 seconds, and it was 10. And oh, Jayville is a very, very lucky boy to get away with that one there. He nearly put it into the wall, but he's keeping Gareth honest. He was about 1/10 behind, could have had an overtaking opportunity, but it looks like that little moment might have stunted his attempt to try and win this race, as unless Tiger gets the safety car, I don't think he will be taking victory, as his hardcore tyres are so much slower than these guys. And oh, Gareth is round, and they're both out of the race. That is huge controversy. Gareth has lost it out of turn 1, and he's taken out Jayville. Well, not intentionally taken out Jayville. He's spun, and Jayville is unfortunately didn't have enough time to react, and went straight into the side of Gareth. And both drivers are out of the Australian Grand Prix. Wow, the 2 drivers that were leading the majority of this race, they looked unchallenged from the majority of this race. They're both out now. Gareth's mistake has cost them both a chance of anything in this race, and you have to feel so sorry for Jayville there, just an innocent bystander in that incident. Gareth unfortunately losing the rear end. But as I was saying before that crash happened, Tiger, unless he gets the safety car, is not going to win this race, and he's gone the safety car. And I presume everyone here will be boxing onto the soft compound tyres until the end of the race. Y69 BRT has already done it. Tiger's in. Prem should be coming to the pit lane. Prem is in as well. Sam Burke will definitely follow these guys into the pit lane. There's no way he's staying out on the 16 lap hards. Yep, he's in. Charlie's in. Easy level bot will probably be in as well. Carlos on the mediums could try stay out here and could try gain a few positions, but I think he'd just be safer if he box as well. Vetton probably will box. Easy level bot is interestingly stayed out here on the hard compound tyres, and so has Carlos on his medium. Vetton's in. Will they actually jump anyone? Easy level bot here has moved up into P3, Carlos up into P4, so they've jumped Sam Burke, Charlie and Vetton out. Sam Burke, Charlie and Vetton, but they will all be on the soft compound tyres behind them, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys do at the end of the race. But now Tiger is in prime position to take his first win in NRL, but unfortunately he has a 3-second time penalty and Prems does not. So if Prems can stay within 3 seconds, he will be race winner again. Jayville leaving the session. I can't imagine the disappointment that will be coming from his side of the garage. Unfortunately, not through any fault of his own, cannot compete in the rest of this race, but he put up a good fight and was very quick and gave us a very interesting race. Unfortunately for him, he has to regroup and gather for next week's race at Bahrain, a very different circuit to Australia, not as high speed, but we'll see. There is ghosting, but because you were so close to Gareth when, like, the ghosting takes a couple of seconds to happen, and because you're like literally right behind him, that's why his car didn't ghost quick enough and you just went straight into him and retired. But ghosting is on, but because I don't think the game recognised he'd spun yet, so it didn't ghost his car, and unfortunately you were taken out in that incident. But that has brought out our third safety car of the day, and it's an Aston Martin 1-2 at the moment with Tiger Assassin and Bern Mylander in P1, Tiger in P1 of the actual race, and then it's Prems in P2, East Level Bot P3 for McLaren. He's had a relatively quiet race, but he's up in P3, but he is unfortunately on the least preferred tyre compound and he's lagging a bit, so I'm going to get off that before my eyes start to hurt. Carlos is in P4 for Aston Martin, Sandberg in P5 for Alfa Romeo on the mediums as well. Interestingly, he boxed, but he boxed into mediums. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe he didn't have any softs available. But Charlie, Vetton and Y69 BRT have all boxed on the soft, so the two in front will pull away on their soft compound, and then it'll be interesting to see two Ferraris and Williams driver Y69 BRT fighting their way through the pack. I hope you're enjoying your holiday through Baldine, and we'll see you next week hopefully in Bahrain, and if not, the week after that. But if you're just joining us now, you've missed a quite interesting race. Gareth started on pole but was jumped by Jayville at the start, and then its safety car was brought out by massive crash between Charles Shaw and AJ UK, and then we restarted and Nathan crashed just a few corners into the restart, bringing out another safety car, and then we restarted. Jayville had a good restart. Charlie made a nice move on Tiger Assassin. Vetton made a nice move on Easy Level Bot. Jayville unfortunately did not have the pace and Gareth overtook him, and then everyone boxed. Jayville got caught up in traffic on after his attempted undercut. But anyways, let's cut back to the action as now Prems is going for a move here down the inside on Tiger Assassin into turn 1, nice and clean. Prems takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix on lap 22, but Tiger's not going to let it go that easily. He's going to fight till the death. He's going to send it down the inside of Prems, nice and clean as they exit turn 3. Can Prems keep it down the inside at turn 4? Yes, he can. Defends it well, but he pushes Tiger off track, and Tiger picks up 3-second time penalty. I presume that will be removed, as someone earlier mentioned in the stream that going off at turn 4 is automatic 3-second time penalty, so that could be removed for Tiger here. But anyways, Prems now leads the Australian Grand Prix. Can he keep it in P1 or will he succumb? Luckily for Easy Level Bot, he hasn't fallen off as badly as I predicted. Sam Burke now moves his Alfa Romeo up into P4. He'll be the first challenger to Easy Level Bot. The Ferrari now of Vettel, who's gotten past his teammate of Charlie, is going to go for the move down the inside of Carlos in towards turn 11, nice and clean. And now Charlie could be all over the back of Carlos as well, but he has to watch out for the Williams behind him, as the Ferrari's not making the impression I thought they would. And that's Carlos. Carlos is getting overtaken. Charlie's managed to make his way past, and Y69 BRT around the outside of Carlos as they now bang wheels down the straight. But it's Y69 BRT who moves himself up into P7, and now Tiger Assassin is falling off the pace. Prems now leads by almost 1.5 seconds down the straight, 1.6 now as they exit, as they head towards turn 3. But watch out for Vettel now. He's cleared all the runners, on the hard compound tires, apart from Easy Level Bot, and he's the next on his list. Vettel wants to move up into those podium places. Easy Level Bot has no grip on those hard compound tires. Vettel extends the track a bit, I think, and that will be another warning for him. Not sure how the penalties are looking. Let's have a look. 6 seconds for Tiger, 3 seconds for Easy Level Bot, 6 seconds for Vettel, 6 seconds for Charlie in the Ferrari as well, 6 seconds for Y69 BRT, and everyone else has no penalties. But now Vettel is surely going to get the move here on Easy Level Bot as they head down towards turn 11. Easy Level Bot is going to defend the inside, but surely Vettel's going to have enough grip to go round the outside clean, and yes he does. But oh, Easy Level Bot, I'm not sure if he lost that on traction or if there was a bit of a tap, but now he's lost a further 3 positions and he's falling down into P7, so the hard compound tire not working as predicted, by me earlier. But Prems with a 1:21.1, a massive lap time to move him up into to move him clear of almost 2 seconds of Tiger Assassin. Looks like Prems in the Mercedes is going to take this win, bar any late incidents that occur in this race. But can the 2 Ferraris possibly do anything and catch up to Tiger, as they're very quick as well. Y69 BRT started on the front row, but he's not really he's not really done too well in this race. His soft tire gamble did not work, and ever since then he's been a bit unfortunate. But now he's in the right place at the right time. Can he move himself up into the podium places, which are currently occupied by Prem, Vettel and Tiger, as we now head down the straight? He's going to be under pressure here. Vettel's going to be under pressure here from his teammate, who looks a bit faster at this moment in time than him. But hopefully Vettel can keep it in front of Charlie as we now head round the final corner for the 25th time in this race. Can Charlie make the move as he sets the purple sector 3 and improves on his personal best by 1.2 seconds? Vettel goes defensive. Tiger's picked on another 3-second time penalty, but Charlie has set his team apart perfectly here. And oh, that was very close between the 2 Ferraris there. They've already made contact in this race when Vettel was spun around. Charlie's gone way too deep on the brakes and has unfortunately messed up his chance of an overtake on his teammate. And I'm sure the Ferrari pit wall, nervous moments there as their drivers are going side by side once again after already making contact. and that's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is Carlos. He's unfortunately lost the rear of his Aston Martin. Tigers managed to pick up the pace a bit. It's now 1.4. That is 1.3 now is the gap. Maybe Prems is struggling a bit with tyre wear. As we now head down towards turn 11, let's have a look on the battle for P3 for the podium places. Is now Charlie's gonna have a look down the inside of his teammate. There's nothing going there, as they now head down the main straight once again. And now onto the second straight here in Australia. Charlie, nothing going for him at the moment as they head through turn 3 and 4. But can Vetton stay in front of his teammate, who has a lot more ERS than him? Carlos is in at the back with new soft compound tyres. And don't forget this battle for P6 and 7 between EZL1 and Sam Burke. That could be a nice little battle that could be very underrated. But now the two Ferraris have swapped positions. Charlie has made the move on Vetton and has burned all his ERS to get that move done. Y69 BRT now could have a chance at a move on Vetton, and Tiger is not able to get close to Prems, who's just managing this race at the moment and managing to keep it in P1. And that is Charlie. Oh no, after getting past his teammate Vetton, he's binned it at the penultimate corner, and that is disaster for the Ferrari man. He will now fall into P7. Let's have a look at the position change for this race. So Prem's up 4, Tiger also up 4, Vetton also up 4, and Y69 BRT down 2 from where he started on the front row. Charlie down 3, Sam Burke up 3, ECL up 5, Carlos up 6, and Tiger's picked up another penalty. So let's have a look at how many penalties that is now for him, as he's starting to accumulate quite a lot here. He's starting to accumulate quite a lot in this race, but that is 12 seconds now of penalty, so he could fall off the podium if he's not careful here in this race. Prems though, he's pretty much safe of anyone now. He will probably win this race unless he gets any post-race penalties, unless he makes a mistake. Charlie's round again at turn 10, and it's gone from bad to worse for the Ferrari driver, as Prems now runs the final corner to start the penultimate lap, as Prems now leads by almost 2.5 seconds as they exit turn 1. But now I'm just setting up a poll now in chat, so you can vote for your driver of the day for today's race. It's been a very interesting race, and Charlie has DNF'd actually. Whilst I've been doing this, I completely missed out. That one is my bad. But Charlie becomes the 7th retiree of this race, meaning as many people have retired and as many people are going to finish, which is not a great statistic in all fairness, but it has been an entertaining race, as Prems is now coming to start the final lap. There's not too many battles here apart from this battle for the podium. As the poll now for driver of the day is now up in chat, so thank you for the follow, LH Mannix. I hope you enjoy the stream, and I hope you will join us for future streams if you can. But at the moment, Y69 BRT doesn't have the pace challenge veteran here into turn 3, but could he possibly get him on the run down to turn 11, which is where we've seen a lot of overtakes happen here in this race, as it's now going to be these two are the only two close enough to have a battle on track, as Prem is going to come round the final sector to win in style here in tier 2. It's definitely been an interesting race, and he definitely was not the quickest, but he kept it clean and he kept his nose clean, stayed out trouble, had a bit of fortune which others like Javel did not have. He's been voted driver of the day, and he is also my personal driver of the day. He's going to come around the penultimate corner. Y69 BRT is not close enough to get veteran. Prem's going to come around the final corner, and he's going to take victory in Australia. He's done it again. He wins for Mercedes in the first race of the season. Tiger crosses the line second, but falls off the podium due to how many penalties they have. An easy level bot jumps up into the podium positions, and Sandberg jumps up into P4 as they manage to keep a minimum of penalties, and that's actually helped them. Easy level bot on the podium alongside Vettel, and unfortunately for Aston Martin, P6 and P7 for them, as not their finest day in the office. Tiger had a good race, but unfortunately was not clean enough in terms of track limits. So Prems wins ahead of Vettel, Easy level bot in third, Sandberg in fourth, Y69 Brit finishes in fifth. Tiger and his teammate Carlos will round out the finishers of today's race in P6 and P7 for Aston Martin. All in all, a decent race, but we like to see a bit less incidents, as the game gives veteran driver of the day. But my personal driver of the day and chat's personal driver of the day is Prems 08. So congratulations to the Brit driver who's won this race, and also one driver of the day here. But thank you for tuning into today's stream, as we now watch Prems taking the trophy in this new animation here by the F1 game, which really doesn't make sense. But I won't talk about the game right now. It's a good race, and congratulations to Prems on the win, Vettel and East Level Bot for their podiums, and that has been PlayStation Tier 2. Hopefully we could see more races like this with more people attending, as Prems wins there. No time penalties, a 1:21.1 fastest lap, a great drive from the British driver, nice and composed. Vettel with 22.108 finishing in P2, East Level Bot in third, Sandberg fourth, Y69 BRT in fifth, Tiger finishes in sixth, and Carlos rounds out the top 7, and then all the rest DNF'd in this race. Charlie crashed on his own. Javel unfortunately caught up with Gareth. Yemex, Nathan Wiedeberg crashed in their own, and Charcher and AJK, I presume, had a crash together, or just unfortunately crashed at the same time. Dean Grazier, thank you for watching the stream. It's been a pleasure, and it's great to see those of you tuning in for the season start. Hopefully you can keep the stream views high for the rest of the season, and it's been a very good first race. Hopefully we can improve on this in future rounds, but we'll just have to wait and see as we head towards Bahrain next week for round 2. Will Prems carry on his title charge strong, or will someone else come out of the shadows and possibly take a race win? Can Javel avenge himself, or can Gareth possibly take the win next week? We'll just have to wait and find out next Wednesday Same time, same place, live again for the Bahrain Grand Prix. But I've been F1 44 streaming, and I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next week.